Hello and welcome to A Girl Named Shasta. That's me. I am recording this because I've been kind of MIA through the month of July, and I started my booktube channel and then life went a little bit crazy, as happens in this world we live in. And so I just wanted to do a quick video about, and I know it's belated, but about my August to be read, which is TBR, if you don't know, which I'm sure you do. But anyways, some of the terms on booktube and that have to do with books sometimes, I think we all just assume everybody knows what they are, but I actually had to Google TBR because I didn't know what it was, and so I will just share little tidbits as I think of them, and I hope that doesn't make it seem like I think anybody doesn't know things. But anyways, so yeah, hi, and I'm sure we are well into August, but I wanted to do a quick video and just let you know what books I'll be reading this month for book club. And so yeah, the first book, and I do apologize if you hear Albert is right here, my little dog Albert. He is actually sitting on the book that I'm trying to get. So if you hear some noises, that will be Albert. He's literally right next to me and was sitting on this book. So the first book that I'm going to be reading for book club, which is actually for our Cup of Crime book club, and this is more of a true crime book, which is what it says it is, but I will just show you this. It's gorgeous and it is so shiny. But yes, it is the library book by it says it right there, Susan Orlean, if that is how you pronounce her last name. And it says it's a true crime, and so I'll be interested to read this and figure out if it is a true crime. So yes, this is the one we will be doing for A Cup of Crime, and it's beautiful. It just looks like a book, and so the name, the library book, gives me hope. So I will let you know about that. And I think if I haven't mentioned it before, because I can't remember if I posted the video that I mentioned it in, because I'm new and I want to say thank you for bearing with me as I get started. I appreciate you coming back to my channel. And so I do tend to go into books, especially for book club, totally unawares, unless I've previously heard about it or something of this sort. But usually I go into books not knowing at all what they are about, just because I love to go totally blind into books. Like I said, I pointed out the cover. I do love to look at books for beautiful covers and then read them and see what I think. So yeah, anyways, the next one is for our book club called YA, so young adult for grown adults. And I just started that. This is my third month in this book club, and it is, I found out, called Yaga, which makes it fun, but YA for GA, grown adults, and so it's just fun. But anyways, the book that we are reading is called 13 Doorways, Wolves Behind Them All, and this is by Laura Ruby. I have absolutely no clue what this book is about, so I'll be interested to find out. I did look up a little bit of information about this one just because I had seen another cover that actually had an award sticker on it, and what it is that this book here was a finalist for the National Book Award. And so it was published in 2019. It is a historical fantasy fiction, so that does intrigue me, so I'm excited. It looks so like creepy and just like really interesting, so I'm looking forward to it. But again, as I was looking it up, I was like, I will not read synopsis, I will not read anything about it. So, but I did see that award sticker on another version of the book cover, and so I did want to check that out, and that's such a cool thing, so I'm excited to see what this book is about. And then with the library, book, I forgot to say that it was published in 2018, and that's something that I'm going to try and remember to say is the age of the books that I'm reading. Sometimes at the library, even with the book clubs, we don't get a ton of super recent books, but this list is pretty current. I mean, it's within the last few years, so I'm excited about that. The next book that I will be reading is Home Before Dark. Home Before Dark by Riley Sager or Seeger. This cover is gloriously creepy. And so with this book, first off, it was published in 2020, and the cool thing about this is for my book club called Wine About It, and the author is actually going to be doing a virtual author visit on Zoom through the library. So I'm super excited to read this and then get to discuss or hear. I don't know if it's going to be an open forum where we'll get to ask the author questions, but definitely just to hear from the author will be super cool. I actually was telling my friend about this, and she loves Albert. He's roaming around. She loves this author and has read multiple books. She hasn't read this one. It's a little bit newer. And so she actually is going to be reading the book as well and joining me for that author visit. I'm trying to convince her to join the book club because we have some really cool books and I think it's up her alley in this book club. But she doesn't like to have a time constraint on her reading. And that's the thing with book club. You have to read the book within a month. And she's not into it. But she's doing it for this one even less because I think I only told her like a couple weeks ago. And the author visit is next week. And so she's going to be reading it really fast. So if you're watching this, then you should do book club because you're reading this book for book club. Anyways, I may have totally just lied. And she's probably cracking up at me because maybe she's already read it. But I feel like she hasn't. Anyways, okay. So super excited about that. The genre for this one is psychological, horror, thriller, fiction. So I have never even touched anything that has anything to do with horror, so I'm a little nervous, but I will definitely let you know my thoughts. I have started reading it and it seems creepy and there's definitely some things going on, but I am not sure at all, so definitely interested to see what this is going to be about. So the next book is The Color Purple by Alice Walker, and this is a book I've heard of, but I know nothing about the story. I do know that the movie, which that is what this book is for our book club, that is books to movies. It was, if you've watched a previous video called Why Would They Do That, we were terrified that our book club would be disbanded because the librarian who created the book club, Why Would They Do That, where we watch the movie, read the book, and then that kind of drives our discussion, she sadly has decided to leave the library system. She's going to work outside the library. And so we were all super sad to see her go, and she's just a beautiful person and such a wonderful human being, and we just love the discussions and the times that we had together. And so we were super sad to see her go and just kind of worried about what the book club, if it would end with her leaving. And what the library did, since we had already read the book for the next month, they decided to get a temporary person in there to guide the discussion for the library. For the library book club, and it ended up that she loved hanging out with us, loved the discussion we had and hanging out with us, and talking about the book, talking about the movie. And so she decided, with help from us all telling the lead librarian, that we loved it and we wanted to keep it going, so they're actually going to keep the book club going. And so now it's called Books to Movies, and I'm okay okay with that. But yeah, so since it was such a quick turnaround of her being brand new and coming, we thought we'd do a quick read. It's a pretty short book as far as like the size of it. But oh my goodness, look at this gorgeous human being on the back of this. Oh my word, so beautiful, like ethereal. But yes, so this is the one that we'll be reading, and we'll also be watching the movie, which I'll put a picture of that here. And I had heard about the movie. I've never watched it. All I know about it, and it's sad, I think that Whoopi Goldberg is in it as well as Oprah, I believe. I could be wrong, but so I'm excited to read that. This, interestingly enough, is the first book that I have read. It's called Episodary. You can laugh at me. Episodary. It's written in like letter form, and so but it's that word insert that word's correct pronunciation, and domestic fiction. So like I said, I have no idea what this is about. I knew that there was a book and a movie, of course. The book was published in 1982, and then the movie, pretty quick turnaround, was actually released in 1985. So I'll be watching that and reading this book, and I will let you know how that is. And then the last book, which I don't have on me because I've actually already read it, but I won't tell you my kind of synopsis of it. I'll hold that off until my wrap-up video. But that is The Woman at the Window by A.J. Flynn. Is that correct? A.J. Flynn. I will put a picture of that there and then put a note here if I said the wrong author name. Oh my gosh. I don't have it on me. I did read it just previously. I believe it was for book club, or I might have just read it for fun. I'm not sure. But I'll look up a little bit more about that. It was released in 2018, and I believe I read it pretty close to that when it first came out. But I will kind of do a little more research into maybe a little bit more about the book, refresh my memory about it. I do remember really liking it, but I'll definitely put some more thought since it's been a while since I've read it. But I will be going to the book club, because even if I've read something or don't like a book and don't read it, I still go because I enjoy myself. So yeah, so that's all the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of August, which I know we're into August quite a bit. So I have started almost all of these. Yes, I've started all of them. So I will let you know what I think about them and give a little bit of a review, spoiler-free review of them. And yeah, so lastly, I just thought I would share the books that I'm just reading for fun, slowly trudging through them, because with the books that I read for book club, they take up the main bulk of my time, but there are books that I'm reading on the sidelines in the back, I guess. And so the first one, which I had mentioned before in my last video, and where I won a Goodreads giveaway, and that is The Fool by Christopher Moore. I'm using the receipt as a bookmark. Hey, we book lovers can use anything as a bookmark. But yes, so I am currently reading this. It is definitely an interesting book. I'm finding it pretty hilarious, but it's definitely something I pick up when I just want to read something funny and different, and I am enjoying that. So I'm just working my way through it. I'm about a third through. The next book that I'm just reading is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. And I love how beautiful this book is, but then look at the book under the jacket. It's gold and gleaming and beautiful, and then the inside page is just beautiful. So I did start this actually for book club last month and didn't get to actually go to book club, but I'm still working on it. I just slowed down a lot because usually I'll power through really quickly, like I said, getting a book read in a month. Like I said, it's not a chore. I keep saying like I said. It's not a chore for me to get through a book like this, but since it's not one I'm going to be reading quickly, I'm still super interested in it. I'm not very far through. not very far at all, but it's very interesting. I'm enjoying it, but I definitely slowed down and kind of put it on the back burner as I'm reading the other books, but definitely reading this one. And then the last one that I'm reading, I actually got, our library had Friends of the Library, where people bring books to sell and things like that. And if the library is purging older books and things like that, they will do a big sale. And as the days wind down, they'll start out with a higher price, you know, just $1 or $2 for books, cheaper, 50 cents, 25, depending on the book and the popularity of it or the condition. But the last day my friend called me, we thought it was over, and she was like, oh my goodness, you have to come to the library right now. All the books are free. You basically just get a giant bag and fill them up and everything's free. So while I was there, I found this author, Victoria Holt, and which is actually not her name. But anyways, The King of the Castle, and I found quite a few of her books in the library sale and got a couple of them, and I instantly just fell in love with the look and feel. Like, it's just very beautiful, I thought, and just very nostalgic looking. But yeah, so I looked it up on Goodreads. It had good reviews, and just kind of started looking into the history of this author. And this is a pseudonym of hers that she uses specifically for this type of book. And when I finish reading it, I will definitely let you guys know a little bit more about it. But it is very interesting. It's about a young woman who restores paintings. Her father, she apprenticed under her father, and her father, I believe, passes away, and she goes in his place to restore some art and sort of tricks the person whom she is going to restore that art. And I'm literally only a few chapters in, and it seems like the guy that she's sort of tricked is actually going to let her restore the art, so that'll be interesting. But this author is so transportive. I mean, I feel like I am there, and she's so descriptive, and it's just a beautiful story. So I'll definitely let you know a little bit more about that as I read that. And like I said, I have a few other books of hers that I definitely want to read. I'd never heard of her before, and I will definitely let you know her actual name. I'll put that there. Her actual name, not the pseudonym for this book. But anyways, so that's the plans for August. Like I said, we are into August. August is happening, and I have some reading to do to get moving for book club as they are coming up, and just to get ready for July. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and it was great seeing you guys again, and I hope that you will utilize your library and their resources. There is so much joy and wonder and such great human interactions and connections that I've made through my book clubs at my libraries, and I hope that you will check it out. So have a great rest of your day. Bye.